As the old saying goes, Ghana is cocoa and cocoa is Ghana. Being the world's second largest producer of cocoa, the crop is considered one of the world's most important agricultural commodities. As part of efforts to help increase cocoa production and give voice to cocoa farmers in Ghana, the Ghana Civil Society Cocoa Platform (GCCP) was formed to create space for marginalized groups and farmers who ordinarily do not get the platform to voice out their issues. At this year's World Cocoa Conference in Brussels, Belgium, the platform made a call on regulators and the European Union to strengthen trading and pricing mechanisms in the West Africa region, which has left many cocoa farmers poor and hopeless.
This conference is very beneficial to us because we are one of the key stakeholders in the cocoa sector, more specifically for Ghana, where we represent the voice of the voiceless, who are the cocoa farmers, under a platform called the Ghana Civil Society Cocoa Platform. And this conference gives us an opportunity to air and share the views of cocoa farmers that represent through this kind of conference. I want all these discussions to be put on paper and be a work in progress and not as usual a talk shop that we've had. We look forward to more platforms like this for our farmers to also share their concerns, because in the room we have a lot of stakeholders who are talking about cocoa but haven't seen a cocoa bean before, cocoa tree before, but are taking all the decisions.
Farmers with the platform say the time has come for actions to reflect the will expressed by the European Union and chocolate companies during the global event.
I had opportunity to tell the whole world, the consumers of cocoa and the whole world, about the challenges that the farmers are facing. Even though the prices of cocoa have gone high, the farmers, especially in Ghana, we are not benefiting because of the nature of the negotiation in buying the cocoa. So I'm expecting that all that they said that they are going to do, especially seeing to it that farmers earn living income to cater for themselves and their family, to feel that they are doing a lucrative work, will be put in place so that farmers will live comfortably.
In Ghana, we cannot, rule out the fact that illegal mining activities has also been one of the major, factors causing the decline. Most of the farmlands, cocoa farmlands, have been lost to illegal mining. Water bodies and the entire environment have been polluted. When you look at this year's cocoa conference with the team paying more for sustainable cocoa, I think that the theme actually suits the current situation that we find ourselves in. Globally, cocoa production has declined, farmers' poverty levels have widened, companies are looking at opportunities of getting more cocoa to feed their factories. And here is the case, we are also looking at the condition of farmers and the reasons why cocoa production this year globally has gone down. I believe that for us to make any way forward, we need to understand the causes of the situation and see how best that we can deal with the situation and possibly improve on it.
Civil society organizations with a platform say the conversations and meetings must lead to equitable distribution of value along the cocoa supply chain to ensure a better living income for farmers in West Africa.
If I look back at where we've come from to where we are, I would say that this conference clearly solidified the message for me that I think cocoa sustainability has won the battle for the ideas. But I think the big step forward still is that cocoa sustainability still needs to win the battle for actual outcomes. So the big work is still ahead of us, because now that we've won the battle for ideas, we now need to actually make it happen in reality.
With this conference, there were much more farmer representatives on the panels. They made very strong statements, really asking that farmers receive a better price, that all the efforts they do for sustainability are paid for. And I think that's a big change. I think also the stakeholders realize that without a living income, the problems in the cocoa sector will never be ended, and a living income will only be reached if farmers really receive a fair living income reference price. Obviously, there had been a lot of talks, and now it's time to walk the talk. I think we still have a long way to go. If I have trust, I think I have never felt like this time, like before, that people really see the issues we are facing and that we all have to work together to solve them. If that's going really to result in change for the cocoa farmers needs to be waited, but as an European NGO, we will really keep companies accountable.
There is a recognition that cocoa needs to be commodified, and I think that's a very, very important angle that we reach there, that we need to commodify cocoa. In that, there needs to be a floor price that beyond which we should not be selling cocoa. So I think that is progress. What we expect in the next WCC is that we would have moved forward with this decommodifying of cocoa. And I think very, very important is the Ghana exchange, where Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire are beginning to set up their own commodity exchange market. Where that will lead us, I think by the next WCC, we should see progress in that. So for me, it was a very, very important WCC, and there has been a bit of a movement from what we used to be, where cocoa was being seen as just a commodity, but now decommodifying it is very, very important.
I would like to see actions from chocolate makers, from traders, from supermarkets to pay more, because they make good profits out of chocolate, but the farmers are suffering all the time. To the farmers in Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire, speak out, say what you need, be organized and come to these fora. And to the companies behind this, the governments, to the companies, I would say pay a fair price. A living income is needed, so a price that covers the living income. And to the governments, support your farmers, and governments in the north, make your companies be responsible.
I am looking forward to a communique that really highlights the key issues that have been raised here, fine-tune it in terms of solutions, and then see the key drivers, the key stakeholders in terms of the private sector, how they are going to take on board some of these issues. For governments, the regulators within country-specific regulators, to how they can take on board some of these issues raised by farmers, and then collectively we look at how farmers can benefit from the whole value chain.
For me, what I think they can do better, even though we had farmer representatives, I think we can also increase the numbers and have more farmers participate. We have EU colleagues, we have other donors who can bring these farmers to the table. Let us hear their voices more when it comes to the issues, what they are facing, how CSOs, how donors, how different partners in the value chain can be of value addition, can bring about improvements in the cocoa sector. Some of the things, basically, we know what is going on in the sector, so we may conjecture. But hearing from them directly, I believe it makes all the difference.
Regulators of Ghana's cocoa sector, Cocoa Board, say concerns about living income and implementation of a new EU regulations is a critical matter that must not be ignored.
Everybody is talking about sustainability, but without a living income, a relative income, a living price, a decent price for the farmer, there can never be sustainability. But the commitment, I would say, is not complete, because it's easier talking than walking. And we want to see our European partners, walk the talk.
I believe is that there's been some modest progress from where discussions have been in years past, where you really have the livelihood of the farmer or the price of cocoa being at the fore. But thankfully, with this conference, so the theme "Pay More for Sustainable Cocoa," which puts the cocoa farmer at the forefront, and that is quite insightful. During the opening session, you had the Queen making a compelling appeal that for us to achieve environmental and social sustainability, we need to make sure that the economic aspect of sustainability, which is paying the farmer more, is put at the fore.
Many thanks to all our partners, GIZ, Oxfam, Voice Network, Inkota, European Union, and Cocoa Board. We say keep opening your doors to us.